Committee to Free the Cuban Five. I want to tell you a story before I say something about them. I went to Cuba in the year 2000, and I had the privilege and honor of meeting Fidel Castro on the day before May Day, where I was going to speak. And I gave him a letter in his hand from Mumia, and I said, Comandante, there is an African-American revolutionary in U.S. prison who they want to execute. And without knowing who I was talking about, Fidel said, no, they're not going to execute him because Cuba is going to stand behind him. And in the following weeks, they organized a roundtable discussion on television. They translated the movie, A Reasonable Doubt. And then in those days, they were about to execute Shaka Sankofa. You remember Shaka in Huntsville prison. And they had a show about Shaka. And Fidel sent a statement to Shaka's family on his funeral. And that was all the solidarity that Cuba represents for prisoners in the U.S. and for the struggle here. And the Cuban Five were in prison at the time when I met Fidel then. And he never said, well, can you help us out? It was just solidarity, solidarity. And I want us to remember that, because the Cuban Five were defending people against the terrorists that Washington finances in Miami. We have flyers here today. Please read about their case. The National Committee discovered 5 years after their trial that the Miami journalists who were covering their case in Miami, where they should never have had a trial or been arrested, that the journalists were on the U.S. government payroll secretly while they lied about the men during trial. So their appeals are up right now. It's their last appeal. It's their habeas corpus. Gerardo, who Brother Claude Marx read about, is life, double life in Victorville prison. Let's fight for all the prisoners. Tear down the prison walls. Ramon Labanino, who is in Georgia and had life, but it was reduced to 30 years from the Cuban Five. He also sent a statement. I'll read a little bit of it, but it's so beautiful. It's about the people. He said, we who represent the 99% have the right to a decent job with good pay, to have health care that covers each and every one of us, to have free and quality education. We have the right to enjoy a living and healthy environment. We have the right to be happy with all our family members without suffering the agonies of deportations, police raids, mistreatment, and discrimination. In a word, we have the right to live and exist as human beings with dignity. Of that we have no doubt, he says. All these battles we will win because we are the great majority of humanity that can no longer endure so much inequality and discrimination. We will win because we have the reason of ideas, the goodwill and dedication of our actions. We will win because it is our right and our inalienable duty to fight until victory. The just struggle for the freedom of political prisoners, Leonard Peltier, Mumia Abu-Jamal, of our comrades in the independent struggle of Puerto Rico, and so many others, including that of we Cuban Five, will continue ever onward until victory. Free the Cuban Five! And all political prisoners! Justice for the prisoner class! And down with these guns! Shame on you all! And the other is, on behalf of ANSWER, I want to say, we have to keep alert and say no war, no sanctions on Iran or Syria or any other country. Thank you.